Hello everybody, hope we're all doing well. Welcome back to more CSGO news. I hope you guys all had a great weekend. If you are American, happy Labor Day. I'm not actually in the office today. These are going to be pre-recorded episodes, but I hope you guys all do enjoy. I'll be back here tomorrow, being Tuesday, with breaking news for all of you. Thank you all for watching. Crazy CSGO news did happen. I was actually in Kansas City this past weekend when all of the great news broke, so why don't we break it down? As per usual, guys, it will be timestamped down below as well. The first one and the biggest news brought to us by the Frenchman himself, that being Nell. I will link his Twitter down below as well as the article for you guys to read through. It's a very interesting read because it does talk about all of the future potential FaZe clan changes, and I know there are a heck of a lot of FaZe clan fans out there, especially for these, that being the removal of at least Neo, and I say at least, and that could be the replacement of him by Coldzera. Now, we've heard rumors about this in the past. They are now doubly confirmed. That could be potential, and yes, it's not just because of him and Nico's countless friendship alongside his old MIBR coach with that could pull Coldzera in. It could be actually Coldzera in, and the IGL role then swaps from the old Neo he'll be replacing and back to Nico, which I know is up for debate. Do we really want Nico on the IGL again? And if you guys are debating that, well, you could be happy about future news as well. Also brought to us by Nell, another FaZe change that could be potentially underway is that for Aleksib to replace Olofmeister on that and potentially in the future take that IGL reign back from Nico if that's the aim they want, because either way, I'm sure many of you guys do know, Sunny is confirmed to be replacing Aleksib on that ENCE roster, and Aleksib, he was already sought after, and he has had one heck of a major just to add to his value. So FaZe changes could be happening post-major, guys, and those changes could be Coldzera, Aleksib, minus Neo, minus Olaf, or at least one of those, the primary one being Coldzera, who apparently they will be paying at least part of his buyout for, and he is well wanted on this roster. Will he be, though, after what we saw throughout this major? Will that be the only fix this roster needs? Either way, though, I'm super excited for it, guys. Post-major roster shuffles are arguably better than the major itself, although this major has been insane, and playoffs, they're going to be tough to break down. My playoff pick'em should be out probably tomorrow night, so keep wait for that. On top of that, though, some huge CSGO news now confirmed by NoChance himself. I almost cannot be happier for this, guys. 100Thieves is now officially returning to CSGO after their failed 2-month venture in the sport. I'm sure you guys are well aware of what happened there, which ended in missing a major, and I don't mean missing a major by not qualifying, missing a major because of visa issues for a couple of their guys. Now, apparently, they will be coming back. We don't know whether to NA or to EU or just an international mixed roster. I'm going to presume, okay, don't get on my back here, all right? I know we have a lot of European viewers out there. I can hope that, yes, 100Thieves will come to North America. I realize it's probably not the best choice currently with the available talent for a tier 1 team because Liquid's probably not changing. NRG are probably 100% not changing either. It doesn't leave you many options, so they will probably go to a mix or an international or European team, but a man can hope and dream, guys. But either way, now fully confirmed, 100Thieves will be returning, and with that being said, I cannot wait till they qualify for a major. Let's cross our fingers that they do, because that's a sticker I will keep on buying. Oh, and a couple small updates for all of you guys. My next story, we're going to break down the major, what has happened so far, the biggest upsets, biggest surprises, biggest achievements by a few teams out there if you want to skip forward. Two small stories, though. Heroic has now officially finalized their roster, at least we think, for the future, and I would say I have officially lost a little faith in this roster. If you guys do remember, they did bench NatoSaphix, and BlameF will continue as the IGL. They actually added Borup to replace NatoSaphix, which I don't think is a bad signing, and now they've actually, in a weird move as well, they lost Freiburg, as he did announce last week. They've actually now added back Snappy from the former Optic roster. He struggled immensely there. He will not even be the IGL, though, so you might be asking why you add him back. BlameF will continue as their IGL, so they've lost NATO, they've lost Freiburg, they've added Borup, and now they've gained back Snappy, and people are certainly going to be questioning this move for the Danish scene, and rightfully so. I'm not really sure where their future does lie, but that will be their final roster stepping forward, at least for now, unless they do undergo further changes, which will be weird to see where these guys eventually and where BlameF can actually take that roster. On top of that, guys, NoChance, Sticko alongside Maikelele have now announced apparently they could be signing with someone. They both tweeted out and quote tweeted each other. Sticko quote tweeted him with the signing of papers. According to someone on Twitter as well, it could be Smash Esports, apparently a up-and-coming organization, a small, very, very small organization signing these guys. Either way, if that does happen, they will be signed to an organization, which I couldn't be happier for them if that is true, which it does seem very likely. If they're both going to a same place they have not been before and they're signing papers, let's assume NoChance getting signed, and if so, That's freaking exciting. And lastly, in CSGO news, guys, we're going to talk about the major so far, which has been tremendous. Yes, I was actually visiting my friend Pat this past weekend, and I got the chance to still watch a lot of the series. And the series I did watch, well, they were freaking incredible. So a quick breakdown as to where we're at currently, guys, playoff bracket-wise. We'll talk in a minute here. When it comes back to Challenger stage, we got to briefly mention Furia, the biggest upset out of Challengers. Alongside them, I'd say a valiant effort by many CIS teams out there, which seems to be the region that I doubted, and they have a lot of heroic runs every now and again. You know, you think back to the QBF days, and now this time around, Simon alongside Dream Eaters, a Vanguard, also some big upsets out of CIS, and I gotta say my condolences because I doubted just about every CIS team at the event so far, and they've really made some good attempts. Simon being one of them. That came down to a Vanguard versus Simon in the Challenger stage best of 3 decider. A Vanguard wins that. They go through to Legends, and guess what they do to make playoffs? They've now beat G2 in a best of 3, and they took down Liquid in a best of 1, which, by the way, a Vanguard was my 3-0 pick, and I said they could beat Liquid in a best of 3, which they didn't, but they beat them in a best of 1. People were making fun of me for that, but either way, CIS teams, props to you guys for really being upstanding so far throughout the major. Furia, like I said before, a giant upset, and we've seen some incredible comebacks from rosters and teams who you wouldn't expect it from. Renegades has been out of it for quite some time now. They've actually taken down G2 and FaZe, I believe, to make playoffs. One of the weaker run for playoff teams out there. I don't mean offense, Australians, okay? I'm just saying they are an underdog. They have impressed me, and Renegades making playoffs with doing nothing over the past 2 to 3 months is very surprising. I am happy for them, and I wish them the best of luck. They will be an underdog, though, in my bracket. Speaking of which, ENCE, stunning everybody, guys. Dominate Vitality to also make playoffs, and on top of that, ENCE is a roster who is making a roster change, and so if they can pull this off, you got to ask yourself, if you win a major, do you change a major winning roster? I don't know, but they will be there as well, and in doing so, like I said before, they dominated Vitality, the number 2 team in the world. And speaking of number 2, number 1 team in the world, Liquid, they had a hard time making playoffs. It went to a deciding best of 3 against Mouse Sports, which if you guys have not seen it, please watch it. It was only a 2-0 by Liquid, but both maps going to at least 1 overtime. It was an incredible series from a young and relatively new roster in Mouse Sports. If any of them are watching this, which I doubt they are, props to them. That was one of the most entertaining series I have seen the entire major long. And yes, I know I'll miss a few series here and there, guys, but because of that, going to decider matchups, it will be Liquid and Astralis matchup number 1 in the quarterfinals, which does suck, but you know, with that being said, still some great matchups up there, and it has been an NRG showdown the entire major long, guys. Really, I honestly, it blows my mind where this NRG was a few months back, and they thought, hey, our IGL is not good enough. They were already a top team then. They changed their IGL relatively recently, and what do? They show up here, and they show up huge. They beat Liquid in a best of 1, and you think, all right, maybe it's a fluke, right? Then they kill Astralis in a best of 3. NRG beat Astralis in a best of 3. God, I don't know what world we're in, but this is not a playoff bracket I ever would assume to be made, and I hope you guys stay tuned for my pick'ems in the future as well, because breaking that down is going to be nearly impossible. The things we have seen, I didn't think ENCE would look as dominant as they were, especially with a player who's going to be out of that roster, or ousted from that roster, and young Aleksib. Renegades, out of nowhere. Congrats to you, Australians. A Vanguard, huge props to them. They have made playoffs for the first time ever in their major run. Who's going to be struggling? Na'Vi. Not too much of a surprise, right? They make playoffs, but they do so kind of like a wounded dog. They're still obviously a great talented team, but you know, they do so as they limp over the finish line. I'm not sure what to expect from them. Liquid, though, stunning what they've had to go through so far, and they have really not woken up. They were the most dominant team we have seen all year long, if not the back half of last year as well, and they really have struggled, really struggled. Besides pistol rounds, these guys are not the Liquid we have seen before. Astralis is losing to teams like NRG. NRG is taking down Astralis and Liquid. What to expect from playoffs, I have no idea. All I can tell you guys right now is this major has been absolutely amazing, and I cannot wait to break down future news for all of you guys. Stay tuned. Matches coming soon. Other esports and CSGO news coming soon. Thank you all for watching. If you guys are American, enjoy your holiday. If you're not American, maybe take a little holiday for the rest of the day, and I'll see you back here tomorrow. Until then, take care of yourselves. I'll see you soon.